Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new series here on Concord TV. My name is Wes McKinney, and these interviews, we are calling them Concord Athletic Alumni at Work. And the first former Mountain Lion to stop by is former women's golfer Stephanie Peareth, who is the the girls golf Miami site director. Stephanie, I think I got that right, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So I got to ask you first off, how are things going down there in Miami? Just kind of give us kind of a synopsis on what you've been doing for, I guess, like the last 6 years now since you left Concord.
Wow, way to make me feel old. Thanks, Wendy. Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm an LPGA class golf professional. I have been part of the LPGA golf professional since 2015, since coming out of Concord. I am the site director for LPGA USGA Girls Golf with Miami, and I run the Girls Golf with Miami program. They gave me a lot of freedom with designing and starting this program in 2015. I started with 15 girls at my local golf club down here in Miami, and now we have over 200. We're one of the biggest girls programs. I've won 2 national awards in the past 2 years for the work that I do with youth junior golf and especially girls golf. I eat, sleep, and breathe it, and I want to give these girls any opportunities that they can to step out in the world and be strong, empowering females. I've always been a big personality and a big character, no matter what country I lived in or where I came from. And I just want to give these girls the best chance to shine in any profession that they want to do, whether it's golf, engineering, aerospace, sports, fashion, beauty, just to make sure that they're the best version of themselves. And I am their dream go-getter. I don't crush any of their dreams, and I want to make sure that if there's any possible avenues, sponsorships, contacts that I can reach out and give them, that's my job. So it's way more than just being a golf coach. It's about inspiring these girls to be the best version of themselves and feeling that they can do absolutely anything. So I'd like to think that I'm their Wonder Woman, and I'm giving them the opportunities easier than what we had them. I know that growing up, I was a female golfer in a man's world and on a boys team. Didn't have a lot of opportunity for girl golf, and then obviously playing on a girls team and having that chance. We didn't have a lot of girls on our golf team. We didn't have a roster of 15 girls, we have a roster of 10 girls. And I wanted to see that change for the girls coming up in the future, knowing that they're going to have a chance to play this sport at 50-50. That's the initiative for junior golf right now, to make it 50-50 boys and girls. And I think we've gone from, I think it's 12-16%, and we're pushing it up there. So I'm a small part of the growth, but I know that girls golf in 2010, there was 5,000 national girls members. And today, a decade later, there's over 100,000 girls golf members. So girls golf is growing. The guys better watch out. And I definitely have a lot of forces to be reckoned with down here in Miami, and it is a dream job. And I'm so thankful every day that I get the opportunity to wake up and change so many lives and impact my own in a positive way also.
That's awesome to hear. And later on here, I do want to kind of talk about the growth of women's golf that you've seen, since you started playing until now. But we're going to touch on that in a little bit. What I really wanted to talk about, Stephanie, was just kind of lay it out for me how you got to the role you did. You said you started back in 2015 with the LPGA, and then also just kind of talk about how you've gotten there to Miami specifically.
Yeah, so it was kind of a spontaneous decision, leaving Concord to come down to Miami. I'm not meant for the sun. I can tell you that for a fact. I'm a snow girl. I like the cold. And being in Miami, we just had some opportunities come my way. I took them. Obviously, my dream was to pursue professional golf. I was fully on board. I turned pro the day that I graduated. And I was fully on board with playing professional golf. I got the sponsors. I got the deals. I got the backing down here in Miami. It was actually phenomenal. I was playing some of the best golf I'd ever played. And I was so excited to go out there and make it on the tour and be that professional golfer and earn my LPGA tour card and have my dad right there on the bag and family supporting me and traveling the world. That was 2014. That was the dreams, and everybody was on board for that. The staff at Concord were super excited about that. My friends, my teammates, my family. Unfortunately, within about 4 months of moving to Miami, I wasn't feeling great. I thought it was the sun. I thought I was having a lot of eye and headaches and migraines due to the sun. I was like, it's too bright outside. I'm the white girl from England. I'm not used to this whole setup. So I thought that it was definitely just adjusting to the heat and the sun. And I moved down in the summer, and we're talking like humidity over 110 here. So it was really, really rough. Went to a couple of doctor's appointments, didn't think anything of it, and turns out that in October 2014, I was diagnosed with an incurable brain condition and a brain tumor which halted my whole life. And this was just literally 6 months after graduating. And I had to kind of make a lot of life decisions which impacted my family, my friends, and obviously my life. But I've always been a positive go-getter person. I'm very competitively aggressive. So I wanted to win everything that I did, and that included winning at life and making sure that no matter what I was faced with, I was going to come through it and face it the same way I would teeing up on the first hole in a tournament. I was going out there to win, and I wasn't going to take second place. I didn't want to take third place, and I didn't want to get told that I had to stop what I was doing. So I had 2 brain surgeries in 2015. The second one was a little rough. I wasn't supposed to be walking. I was wheelchaired for quite a while. I lost my hair. It was a bit of a rough situation to be in, and that's when I did hit my lowest point and wanting to go back to England and make the decision to go back home, be with my family, and focus on my health. But I decided with my family, my parents were a huge support in this, that I was going to stay in the United States without my family and do this. And the LPGA came, and they knew that my route was going to change a little bit. And I had a close friend who was winning the girls golf side of things, and she said, why don't you try girls golf? And I was like, I'm not quite sure that. I never even thought about it. I mean, I could teach my teammates and I could help people out, but I never thought that working with juniors the way that I am now would ever be in my future. So I ended up October 2015, which was a couple of months after my second brain surgery, starting the girls golf program with 15 girls, and now I have over 200 today, and I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. I don't want to do anything else. It's not that it's my only choice, it's literally my dream job. I absolutely love waking up every morning doing what I'm doing. Everything was going great. December 2017, I fell sick again and went in for my 3rd brain surgery in December 2017. This one got a little bit scary. We had a bit of complications, and I was wheelchaired even longer. My parents, bless my dad, he didn't want to leave. My mom was a nurse. She handled it like a trooper. But it was my dad's mission to get me on my feet. So we did a lot of therapy, a couple of months down the line, and I started walking again. And I play an LPGA Tour event, an LPGA National Championship for the club professionals every year with my dad on the bag. So we get out there, we compete, and we compete very well. I picked up a paycheck. And it was just a very emotional thing, because that was supposed to be my life. That was supposed to be what I did every day. And in 2015, I never thought it would ever be possible with my dad on the bag. And we do it every single year. And I'm back. I'm not 100%, but I look a lot better than I feel. But I am out there, and I'm competing, and I'm playing, and I'm teaching, and I'm working 12, 13 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we're traveling, and we're trying to make the most out of it. And I made a decision that I will do whatever that my body allows me to do. I'm not going to do what the doctors say, because I know my body better than anybody else. And I do a lot of positive healing. I have an amazing positive life coach, and together we're looking at everything in a positive way. And I'm so thankful that I'm still here. And yes, my life's not the way I planned it, but I'm still out here achieving my little girl's big dreams every single day, and definitely living an amazing life. So I wouldn't change sorry about that. I wouldn't change anything for the world. I said I wouldn't change anything for the world, not even for health, because it's made me look at things in a very different way. I'm very thankful for everything that I have, and I don't kind of dwell on the little problems anymore. And I teach that to my girls. They don't complain about blisters, back pain, none of that stuff, because they know that their golf coach is a Wonder Woman out here, and I'm doing it. So I have some really strong, incredible girls that I'm raising in this program, and a lot of amazing families that have been with me from start to finish along this journey. So my book's just getting started. I've been through a lot. I'm only 28, but it's just getting started, and there's so much more to come and so many more achievements. So I'm very excited for the next few years.
Yeah, no, I mean, just your story, what you've been through is just absolutely incredible. And I just remember how much of a fiery competitor you were on the golf course here at Concord. Was that kind of the approach you had to take whenever you faced the adversities of having, multiple brain surgeries?
Yeah, I mean, I got the day that I remember the exact moment that I was diagnosed. I was on my own because I didn't think it was serious at all. So I was like, hey, I'm going to the doctor's appointment, whatever. And he told me to sit down. He asked me, the neurosurgeon asked me if I had anybody with me, and I'm like, no. He's like, do you want to put anybody on the phone? I'm like, no. I was like, what is it? And I sat in the chair, and he told me that I had a benign swelling behind my eye and an incurable brain condition which wasn't going to ever go away, which was going to cause a lot of life difficulties and a lot of different health issues, and I wasn't able to be, basically I wasn't going to be able to play professional golf, I wasn't even going to be active, I was going to have a very different disabled life. And I said, okay, thanks for and he asked me if I was, looked at me like I was in denial, and I told him that how many people have sat in this chair who have to go tell their families that they have a certain amount of months left to live, or they have to prepare for the worst. I was like, you've just told me that I'm going to live, and that my life's going to be different, but I'm still going to be here. I still just have to take a different route. And he still thought I was in denial, and because I didn't burst into tears or anything. I shook his hand, I thanked him, I left, and I said I'd wait for the next steps. And I sat in the car and I called my parents in England, and I asked them to put me on speaker because I only wanted to explain it once, not twice.
Mm-hmm.
It did hit me then. I think just hearing how strong my parents had to be, obviously on the phone, but knowing that they wouldn't have to deal with this 4,000 miles away. But my mom said, look, we're going to get through this, keep smiling. My mom tells me every day, keep smiling. That's my life motto. People have worse news all the time, and just because I couldn't be selfish and think that I wasn't getting my dream life, I just had to change it. And I've been surrounded by the most incredible support system. The LPGA are just an organization like no other. And the families and the people and the incredible girls that are literally changing the world, and I'm around them every single day, have made this very easy. They've made this very easy.
Yeah, isn't it amazing how, when you see your life change, and obviously you're a very drastic example of that, but once your life changes, you realize that you can really change the lives of others. And Stephanie, I think that's exactly what you've done here, is you've seen changes in your life for the positive, and it seems like to me that's what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. With my condition, I can feel every emotional change in my head. So I know what negativity, I know what anger, I know what happiness, I know what everything affects my head, because it affects my fluid production in my brain. So I know when people say it's heavy emotions, I physically feel the changes in my body when I have a negative or a bad emotion as compared to a happier emotion. So it's just not worth it. If I know that something's going to get me angry or something's going to get me upset, I know how I'm going to have to deal with that when I get home, whether I'm going to have to get up, whether I'm going to be able to get up in the morning the next day because of what I'm allowing into my bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So I've physically gone through that. I'm not religious, I'm not spiritual. I'm just living it as it is every day, or how I feel it. And I can physically feel the differences and the changes, so I know it's not worth it. And positivity and hope. I like to hold to hope, and that this was just, I've always been somebody who likes to achieve. My collegiate career showed that. I've never been one to just settle. I've always wanted to go above and beyond in everything that I do. So especially holding to hope that things are going to get better, and there's so many worse things going on in the world that I have to still be thankful for what I have. I have an incredible relationship. I have an incredible family. I have an incredible opportunity to still travel the world. I have an incredible opportunity to work with incredible people who inspire me every single day, and to be around people who genuinely love you and genuinely want the best for you, and to have that support team. And I feel like I'm winning at life every single day. So I can't think about putting together what I'm losing when I'm gaining every single day.
You mentioned hope, and I think that's a buzzword for you, or so it seems. And maybe not a lot of people know, but whenever you got to Concord, you'd actually had one stop already in college, and that was in the South at Pfeiffer. And I got to assume, coming from a different country to America, hope was something you had to lean on. So just kind of talk to me about your journey to Pfeiffer first, and then we'll jump into kind of your transition to Concord afterwards.
Yeah, I had to just kind of hope for the best. I was making a big change. You can't just turn around mid-air when you're in the airplane. But yeah, we made the decision that I wanted to be a golfer, and I didn't want to go to school. I wanted just to go to the European Tour. My dad said, and I hate saying that my dad's right, but he's a dad, so he is. He's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You never know what's going to happen to you. You can't just rely on being a professional. I was like, okay, well, look what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
He told me that I needed a degree, and obviously it's not an option in England, obviously with the weather, and it's just very different to be an athlete in England. So we ended up looking to join Pro Dream USA and come over to America and look at the opportunity of being a college athlete. We had a lot of different offers, and we came over for a recruitment trip, and Pfeiffer just felt like the small family home that I needed. I'm very family orientated. I'm from a little village in England, a little country village, and I wanted to keep this small school, which is why we chose to play D2. Fell in love with Pfeiffer, made friends, family for life, who I still to this day are very close with, and had experiences at Pfeiffer that I wouldn't change. They shaped who I am today, the relationships that I had. And ended up transitioning to Concord University as a transfer student. Went through some coaching changes at Pfeiffer. So we came to Concord and started a fresh journey. And I think a lot of people like the 4 years at one school. Having two different schools was like two different experiences. I'm very creative. I'm very adventurous. I like to travel. So it was just like a new chapter of my book, to try something new, meet new people, play new golf courses, experience a new state, and that's what I did. And Concord was more of a home to me than Pfeiffer was. The support system that I had at Concord University was second to none. Coach Angie Edwards and Will Johnson, my golf coach, and Angie was Edwards was my major. I had most of my major classes in sports management with her, and I went to regionals with her, and it was just an incredible family to be a part of, and I'm so proud to be a mountain lion, always a mountain lion. And it was definitely an experience, but I had to hope for the best, and I had to live with all the decisions that I made in school, and the friendships and the relationships that obviously everyone goes through, and I never lost hope. It was just always a new adventure. Life every day is just a new page in a book, and it was just a new adventure, and I just wanted to make sure that I made my family proud, and I became, every day I wanted to wake up proud of the person that I was, to know that I'm not just doing it for everybody else, but I'm also doing it for myself, and I have no regrets, and had an incredible time, a great collegiate career, a great support system, and it made my transition to Miami, the easy transition that I had to Pfeiffer from England, and then from Pfeiffer to Concord, and then Concord to Miami, West Virginia to Miami. It wasn't a big surprise, because I've gone through so many major changes and learned each time how to look at it positively and how to just get on with it and do it. So my parents are very, very positive, always come through life's challenges on top, and I was just raised to keep smiling and to know that you're not alone. You always have a team. No matter how far away I am from my family, I have a team, and that team's getting bigger. Everyone's having lots of babies, but it's so much easier to have hope when you have an army of people who want nothing but the best for you and lift you up when you're darkest times. So it makes it very easy to know that I have a Concord family, I have a British family and I have an American family, so it's very special.
Yeah, you talk about Dr. Edwards there, that you guys went to two NCAA tournaments together and just ultra successful. Stephanie, I mean, maybe if the girls at Wheeling Jesuit wouldn't have been as good as they were whenever you came through, we're probably talking, maybe about you being a conference champion at one point. But just talk to me about the work that went in to make those NCAA tournaments, because I think obviously to be successful in anything you got to work hard, but golf is just such a mind game first off, and then you just add in the physical work that you got to put in. So what was it like to make those two NCAA tournaments, and just kind of walk me through the preparation for those?
Actually, just before I go into that, I actually just sent one of my students, one of my oldest girls in my program. She's now on a golf scholarship at Wheeling Jesuit. I just got her set up at Wheeling. And there's also a girl on the Concord women's golf team who I have connected with because she won a scholarship from the LPGA, and I recognize that she's a mountain lion. So it's a really small world.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm connecting with both teams, the girls on the Concord team. And actually, one of my close friends here in South Florida, her sister plays for Concord University now as a mountain lion. So it's a very, very small world. But the NCAA championships were an experience. It just actually came out my time hop yesterday, the super regionals, and I made friendships for life. One of my closest friends is Casey Fraser. We're still best friends. We're still in contact. We reached out to each other yesterday. She's about to have a baby, and we're still the best of friends. We were the number one rivals. I don't think there was a rivalry like it between Casey and I. And I played an LPGA tournament in Pinehurst a couple of years ago. She came to watch me. So having those experiences to travel to the NCAA championships, it was so much more than just being on the golf course. It was the traveling and the bonding time that I got with Dr. Edwards and Coach Sue Vale, and just traveling and having those experiences. And it's so much more than just going to a golf tournament, because the relationships that I created with Dr. Edwards and Coach Sue from Wheeling Jesuit, I still have those relationships today. I'm still getting shouted at for life decisions, and they're still my mom figures in my life. And it's just incredible to know that the opportunities that you get are so much more than golf. And there, I actually gain more in my life now from the relationships and the experience of the trips rather than the golf at the trips. But the golf at the trips is always exciting. I always had a Steph moment on the golf course. I had to play with no shoes on. I played off a rock. I got into a lake with Angie because I didn't want to lose a golf ball. So that's it, socks and shoes off, and I went in to get a golf ball. So you should probably get her on here. There's a lot of stories. There was always moments on the golf course where mentally I think she took it harder than I did. But it was a lot of fun, and it's looking at challenges that I faced on the golf course in those giant championships. And how he came through them, it was just incredible, and the NCAA do such a good job. And I can only imagine how difficult it's going to be now with COVID, but with the coaches and the players and the way that this sport is faced, golf is a game of patience. And I think golfers are going to handle COVID-19 a little bit better than most of the sports, because it's patient. We're out there 5 hours. You've got to take your deep breaths and your 40 seconds on every shot, and take every shot like it's a new one. No matter how many shots you've already hit, every shot is a new shot. And it is a beautiful game of patience and etiquette, and I think that's what the world needs to get through COVID-19. So I think the golf world's going to be just fine, and the NCAA are gonna shine through this.
Yeah, you talk about having Steph moments on the course, and some of them are kind of funny. I'm sure looking back now, you probably acted, you probably thought you were, being kind of crazy and maybe over the top. But Stephanie, one that I remember is you at the MEC tournament. I guess it would have been your senior year in the fall there, and you not only played the entire tournament, you played with a boot on, and I actually had forgotten about that till I was looking through some pictures earlier.
Broken foot.
Right, and the NCAA tournament, obviously you take into account your cumulative score throughout the season and average. So you not only had to play that tournament, you had to play it pretty well. So what was it like playing on a broken foot for 54 holes, in the middle of October of that season?
I remember everything from that event. It was actually hole 16 that I slipped and fell on a hill, and that's when it was disastrous. And I had to call my dad, my parents, and that was round one. I was doing so good round one. And then I had to let them know that I was injured. And then I had kind of lied to them and told them it was just a little issue, and they had no idea I was playing a boot until I actually finished the tournament, because I knew my dad would never let me play it. So I ended up playing through it, and like I said, you just gotta move that little white ball down the fairway. So I had to just move it. And I was like, you know what, I can do this because I can chip and putt. And actually, my short game was phenomenal because I wasn't having any lower body movement because of my foot. I was on pain medication, and I had one of those stem machines that was shocking to my foot. But yeah, I had to walk, so I hobbled around. I'm not gonna lie, it created some incredible photo opportunities. I have some amazing pictures on Google from this golf event, and a lot of my kids find it and ask me. I actually had one little girl. She's 6 years old, and she broke her foot, and she was in a cast. And she told her mom, I can go to this girl's golf event because Coach Stephanie did it in a boot. I can do it with a cast on. And I actually have her pictures of her golfing this year, beginning of this year and last year, with her boot on, because Coach Stephanie did it, and she was 6. It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And she went out and did it, and it was definitely created memories. And I know that Coach Sue Vail from Wheeling Jesuits definitely told her golf team about it. I think she has the picture on her desk. But once again, it was just taking something that was a challenge and a lot of people would have just withdrew from. I wasn't about to lose my whole season because I couldn't play this event. I wasn't going to do it. I wanted to go to Super Regionals. I wanted to be able to finish my senior year as strong as I started my junior year, and I did that, and I still ended up making it. So I was very proud of myself, but like I said, people could look at it so negatively, and I was like, I'm going to be limited to what I can do, and I'm going to have to look at the golf game a little differently. I'm not going to be able to play the same game that I played all my 3 years.
So. We kind of circle back around now, and you talk about the growth of the women's game, going from 50,000 to 100,000 in just a short period of time. And you growing up in England, you didn't have other girls to play with, and now you just see how the game is just taken off and just gone into another stratosphere, so to speak. So what have you seen? What's been kind of the prime ingredients to really get the game of women's golf to really take off here?
The LPGA, 1,000%. They have homed in on so many small parts of the LPGA, that's just a big logo for so many branches. You've got girls golf, you've got the professionals, you've got the amateurs, and they are making sure that all little details are covered. So they're looking at the entire spectrum of different females who play golf, and they're creating opportunities for us all to really, really thrive. Created the opportunity for me to do girls golf, to be a teaching professional. They have the Semantic Tour. They've just joined with the European Tour. So they are definitely, Mike Wan, the commissioner, has changed the industry for the LPGA. And the team that they have up at headquarters to make all this happen, they're a huge family. They're absolutely incredible. And they're changing the face of this game. And women's golf is just skyrocketed. From the talent on the tour to the opportunities that the girls have qualifying for the golf tour. The money in the game is completely changing. We've gone from 5,000 girls to 100,000 girls, and just creating the environment where women can step out and say, I'm good at this game, let me help others, and bringing new ladies in, bringing new girls in, increasing junior golf, and creating opportunities to keep girls in the game at youth. The problem is when girls get in their teenage years, golf's not cool, it's not girly, it's not a cool thing to do at high school when you start looking at friends and boys and all these part on the growing up part of life. But girls golf are creating opportunities, especially in my program, where I'm keeping the teenagers because they want to bring their friends to the events that I'm doing, whether it's ice skating, whether it's a fashion show, whether it's movie night, whether it's camping, whether it's going on vacation. It's so much more than just a golf program, because now we're creating opportunities for girls to do anything they want in their careers. You don't have to play golf to be successful in girls golf. It's mentoring, it's learning how to give back to your community, it's doing community projects, it's doing so much more work, which is getting girls involved in golf. And they might be able to just play, they don't have to play great, but they're still able to go out there and play with charities sponsors and changing different organizations. And the LPGA have done such an remarkable work in the past 10 years for creating avenues for every single part that's possible for female golfers. And it's incredible just to see how many teaching professionals that they have, how many female head pros that they have, golf course superintendents, golf course architects, girls golf site directors, the ladies LPGA amateurs, which they have just for groups of ladies at golf clubs. So now you're the local group of ladies who play together with a purpose under the LPGA umbrella. So it's definitely amazing to see that the LPGA organization is so much more than just a tour, and they are focusing in on diversity and equal opportunities, and definitely paving the way in the correct way for an incredible future for girls who play golf.
Stephanie, as we wrap up here, the biggest thing I've gotten out of this is we knew that you were a winner on the course when you were here at Concord, and obviously you're a winner off the course. You've learned how to handle your condition like a champion, and now you're making a difference in the lives of so many young ladies. And we love to see the mountain lions here of Concord go on and do great things in their life, and it seems like you have done just that. So
it's been amazing. And I'm super excited for the mountain lion you guys have, and I still reach out to your mountain lions, and I connect with them girls through different parts of the LPGA, and I am aware of your mountain lion achievements, and I'm always in touch with what my fellow mountain lions are doing. Once a mountain lion, always a mountain lion. And I'll always carry that and do my best to support the female mountain lions.
Yeah, and for those of you that maybe can't see, over your left shoulder is your diploma right there from Concord, proudly displayed all the way down in Miami, Florida. But once again, Stephanie Peareth here stopping by for Athletic Alumni at Work. And Stephanie, I would be remiss if I didn't give you a shameless plug for your website. You can visit her website at LPGAGirlsGolfMiami.com. Once again, LPGAGirlsGolfMiami.com. You can check out all the great work that Stephanie Peareth is doing down there in South Beach. Stephanie, thank you so much for your time here today.
Leslie, it's been amazing. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for having me.